Oh, and we have new people coming in. I would say
They have to do it by themselves.
right.
This is about the Mormon study group, right?
Study group. Temple prep as well. Without fail, that happens in every one of my presentations. Last time, it wasn't people coming in, it was prom was on the other side of the room and people kept opening up doors. And I was like, intimacy! It just comes with my business, I guess. So check in with yourself. What was that like when I introduced the part, this no-no zone that we tend to skip over in that song? Just notice what that was like for you. I know we started to giggle, started to feel maybe if some of us got red. I know I got red. I was like, oh heavens, I'm going to do this in front of everybody. But the thing that's really interesting is the language that we use. How easy is it? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We're like, okay, yeah, we got that primary, right? But then once we bring in the genital area, when we're talking vulva, penis, vagina, and we didn't even go over breast, but we bring in this area of our body, and it's like, whew, it's tough. Because we don't really socialize ourselves to be able to have these. So what I want you to be able to do is to create this ability to say these body parts. Just as easy as head, shoulders, knees, and toes. That we can say penis along with it. We can say vulva. If you notice yourself giggling and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a great way for you to maybe go into the bathroom and say it to yourself. So if you're like, I'm gonna say this to my kids, and I'm gonna be like, that's your penis. Yep. It's okay to giggle, that's fine, but if you want to keep it in a more serious tone and you want to talk to your kids about this, when you're saying the names of their genitals, just as easy you can say elbow, or you can say toes, all these things. That's how important this is, because you're going to be able to have these conversations, and these are building blocks. A caveat to this is that some of you maybe have teenagers already, and they're way past the let's identify body parts. And that's okay. We just have to start easing it into conversations, and sometimes that can be a little bit more uncomfortable. But if you're just starting out with little babies, this is a great time to start getting yourself ready. If you've got a newborn and you are just like, and there's your cheeks, and you're diapering, and you're like, all right, and now we are wiping your penis and your vulva. Wow, this is wonderful. You can start to make it feel a little bit more natural than it not being that way. But if not, it's never too late to start. We can always start, okay? So as we start talking about this, I want to be able to get comfortable with sexual language. Know that you can practice with your spouse, you can practice in the mirror, you can practice with a really good friend. Anything you need to do in order to feel yourself being more comfortable with this. Avoid assumptions. Language is really important because if we're not avoiding assumptions with our kids, they may ask us something and we assume that they're talking to us in a certain way and they may not be, as well as if we use certain terms to them, we assume they understand what we're talking about. And it's quite common for us to use words like masturbation and them going, sure, I won't masturbate, that's fine. And they don't know what that involves. We're like, okay, cool. So if we're like, good, don't masturbate, great. And then all of a sudden you catch them doing something, you're like, that's masturbation, like this whole time? So that's happened on multiple occasions with people I've worked with, and so not assuming is very important. And the cool part is God gave us his body in his image, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the parts, everything that he's provided for us. And the pitfalls that we're running into with the language is that we use euphemisms, so like your pee-pee, or your wee-wee, or anything that we could come up with that you guys have heard. The other thing is when we're talking about we might shirk a little bit, or we might use a different tone, or we might get more serious. Be like, hey, we're going to talk about sex now. And for some reason, we have a tone change. I don't know why, but some parents will do a tone change. And the other one is waiting for your kids to ask. Some people expect that the kid is going to come up to you and be like, Mom, teach me about sex. And some kids will do that. Others won't. So as parents, we need to approach that. The other thing is I want you to be able to teach beyond physical. We're talking about sex, we're thinking very physical. What do we do with our bodies? However, sex is also an emotional, mental, and spiritual experience. And we can introduce it and talk about it in that manner. So think of it in this way, just like we've got this wheel, the spirit, the mind, the body. And your emotions, your heart. So for the younger years,